very proud of the young Orlando Pirates soldiers. I'm very proud of how the young Orlando Pirates players carried Orlando Pirates in this season's CAF Champions League to reach the semi-finals. Yes, they may have lost in the semi-final stages, but considering the fact that most of these players, if not all of them, it was for the first time in their careers that they find themselves playing at this stage of the continental competition. And look at the fact that Orlando Pirates was carried by young players who are 19 and 20. But the way they played, they fearlessly played against experienced competitors, against experienced teams who know how to win these competitions, teams who know how to close matches. But these boys, they proved that when it comes to talent, you cannot doubt them. They proved that when it comes to talent, you cannot doubt them in terms of the natural talent. Here I'm talking the players, young players such as Mahaunkota and Relebile Mufukeng. We saw what these boys did. You look at Mahaunkota has got 4 goals in this season's competition. Relebile Mufukeng has got 5 goals. So these are the young players, and it's been unheard of. It's unheard of that in this competition, which is the CAF Champions League, where you'd see a team that, in terms of the age average, is dominated by young players who are 19, 20. That team going as far as reaching the semi-finals, and at no stage of this competition, from the preliminary stages to the group stages, up until now to the next stages, up until the semi-finals, where Orlando Pirates got knocked out by the Pyramids of Egypt. At no stage did these guys embarrass themselves or embarrass the club and the country at large. So we must all be proud of how these young boys carried the team. It also gives us hope as a nation. It gives us hope, faceless people, those of us, including myself, who are Orlando Pirates fans. It gives us hope that there's future in this club. Because looking at their age, it means these players are still going to be around for quite some time. But that also extends even now to the national team as well. To say the national team is bound to benefit from this. It's bound to benefit from this experience and exposure that these young boys are receiving. And we're not just talking about exposure whereby they get into these matches, then they get swallowed by the occasion. No, they rise above the occasion. They carry the team. So that bodes well for the national team. We must be very happy and proud of such moments. So we must take that. And as painful as it is how Orlando Pirates got knocked out of the CAF Champions League semi-finals, of course we can get to the tactical analysis and stuff like that and all of that. We saw that the Orlando Pirates defense, it is the reason that Orlando Pirates are not going to play the CAF Champions League final. It is just as simple as that. So when you raise the question of the Orlando Pirates defense, of course you start to ask the question, but the injuries to the players like Thabiso Sesane, here I'm talking about long-term injuries, to players like Thabiso Sesane and Olisanda, what impact has these injuries had on the team? You see, because look at this the match last night. You look at the match last night, Orlando Pirates did very well. 41st minute, Orlando Pirates scores away from home, knowing very well that in the first leg, which took place here in South Africa, the match ended goalless. Meaning Orlando Pirates were carrying that advantage going to Cairo, knowing that they did not concede at home. You see, meaning that Pyramids are playing with a mind at their back. That threat of conceding. And in the 41st minute, in the first half, Orlando Pirates scores a beautiful goal through the young Relebile Mufukeng. of which makes it what? 2-1. That changes the complexion of the game. It means now the Pyramids now have to do what? Have to score 2 goals. So looking at how Orlando Pirates have been able to defend away in all of that, you would have bet on Orlando Pirates to defend and protect that lead. But 3 minutes down the line, Orlando Pirates concedes. And concedes because they played a high line in that moment. They played a high line without putting pressure on the ball carrier. And the ball was played behind them. Because playing a high line means you are going to leave spaces behind you. It was played to an attacker on the wing who whipped in a beautiful cross, and Kosnati Sibisi missed the ball. And as Kosnati Sibisi missed the ball, Fiston Mayela was coming behind him, and he finished. He finished off to score the first goal for Pyramids. So you look at the fact that he came in between the 2 centre backs. This is the striker Fiston Mayela. And coming to this match, of course, even in the first league that took place in Johannesburg, we all have saw and witnessed how deadly and dangerous that man is. So he came between Xoki and Sibis. None of them were men marking him. We're doing zonal marking. Strange. Then he scores. Then the match goes to halftime. It is 1-1. All is not lost. It means if the match finishes 1-1, Orlando Pirates still progresses to the final. Second half, beginning of the second half, Orlando Pirates gets the goal through the young Mohamed. Very beautiful goal. And it's quite painful that Orlando Pirates have been knocked out of this competition, because now that has taken away the value of the goal that the young man scored, that the beauty of the goal that the young man scored, Mohamed. That goal makes it 2-1. As that goal makes it 2-1, it means now it is back to square one for Pyramids, because Pyramids now have to score 2 goals to progress. Many Orlando Pirates have to defend with their lives to ensure that they do not concede 2 goals. It does not take long after that. Orlando Pirates concedes a set piece. As they concede a set piece, Pyramids makes some substitutions. That number 10 who scored the goal was his first touch. They whip in a set piece, a head down the air. The man heads the ball. Xoki is standing next to him. He beats Xoki to that ball. And if it is any player to have bet in terms of the Orlando Pirates starting lineup that will be able to win those duels, it is Thapelo Xoki because of his height. And you'd think that one of the reasons that they put him in the starting lineup is to ensure that he deals with such situations. So he's unable to deal with that situation, then Pyramid scores this 2-2. Changes the whole complexion. Now Pyramids, they can smell blood. Pyramids can smell blood. You see, that goal, which becomes Fiston Mayela's second goal in the match. It's a set piece. It gets dripped in. A very short player heads the ball towards the goal. Sipho Cheney saves the ball. But Orlando Pirates defense again are slow to react to the ball. Mayela is the quickest to react to the ball, and then he scores the winning goal. And also look at the fact that even before they scored the winning goal, there was another header which was saved by Evidence Mahopa in the goal line. It was goal bound. So it is shocking that we have Orlando Pirates which fielded 3 central defenders. And of course the idea was to deal with those kind of threats, but they failed to do that. You see. So you also have to consider the fact that now it is the experienced players who caused Orlando Pirates this match. So, but as painful as it is, we must take it as a defeat as it is. It's a learning curve. Look at how many times Mama Sanders have been losing the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and all before they progress to the final this season. And must congratulate Mama Sanders for making it to the final. So we must look at that as a learning curve, as part of learning. Say that we must pay our dues. We are paying our school fees here. It's a pity that Coach Jose Rivero is leaving. So we don't know whether when the new coach comes in, it's going to dismantle this team or not. We don't know. We're not sure, but we're hoping for someone who's going to improve this team, not dismantle this team, because it's a good team. It's a good team. They just need to ensure that they get central midfielders proper central midfielders who are able to manage the game and all of that. And of course, there's question of substitutions where by taking off talent and and all of that could have that been with the risk that cost Orlando Pirates the match and all of that. But all I wanted to relay is that I'm very proud of the boys. For football banter, of course, people can banter about this and make fun of it, say, no, but people who now we're talking real football, we know that the Pirates, they punched above their weight when no one gave them a chance in this competition. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. Please, guys, remember to subscribe to the platform, and please remember to share, comment, and like. Thank you very much, guys.